Okay, what's saying people, and welcome back to another live stream. Now before we get into this, make sure you follow me on my Telegram channel. I left the link to that in the live chat and also the description below. So we're posting a lot of different trading setups throughout the week and you don't want to be missing out on that, so make sure you go check that out. But like I said, we've got another live stream, so I'm going to talk you through what's happening in the charts, see if we've got any opportunities coming up, and also what trades I'm in as well. So first we'll start with AUD/USD. And for this one, you can see we're currently at support on the 4H here. As you can see here, support along there. We didn't quite test it, but we do get moved to the upside from this area, and again we're at that same support, and it looks like price could be holding at it. As you can see, we have that strong engulfing candle there, with a few wicks to the downside there. So it is a sign that price could be holding at this level, and again we could be seeing another push to the upside. We do have this trend line running through the market for AUD/USD. As you can see, initial test there, second there, third there, didn't quite get fourth. So we could be having another push to the upside to go and have another test of that same trend line. And if we break through there, we could go much higher. But looks like we could be holding and could be seeing a push to the upside for AUD/USD. However, if we suddenly turn bearish again and see some strong bearish candles coming back into play, of course we can break through this level. And if that's the case, again, we can go a lot further. We do have some areas of the market where potentially price could go. As you can see, support all along here. We'll be acting as support there again. And of course, you've got the 200-minute average not too far away from that area as well. So you could see price be attracted to that area. Of course, we need to see price go and break through this strong support area. And as you can see on the daily chart, is a quite strong area of support. If I drag this across, as you can see here, it was acting as resistance here, pushed the downside, resistance there again, price broke above it, acting as support. So it's a very strong area of resistance and support. So it's going to take a lot to go and break through that area. But if we do, again, we can be seeing moves to go test the support there of the 200-moving average just below it. Again, if we do hold at this level, which we could do, again, we'll probably see another move to the upside. Again, you do have some resistance not too far away. As you can see, that's what sent the market down to go and test that support in the first place. But again, you can probably see a longer move to go and test that trend line maybe. And if you break through that, you can see price go a lot higher. But for now, it looks like it could be holding and seeing a move to the upside. EURUSD, similar thing. We are coming back to the same support area that previously was tested. As you can see, support there, which inevitably give us the move to the upside to reach the highs up here. Again, we'll come back to that same area. So you could be seeing another push to the upside for EURUSD. Again, we do have some previous support time resistance in the market. We could potentially see a move to, as you can see, support all along here, support there. You can see with the wicks there, support there again, gave us a move to the upside. Again, resistance there, big bearish candle from that same area. So again, could be seeing another move to the upside. That's probably the first area where price will find some strong resistance at. And if you break through that, we could go a lot higher. But for me, USD does have some upside potential coming from a strong area of support. We do have a couple of wicks to the downside there. We could be seeing a move to the upside for EURUSD, potentially going to test some previous resistance in the market, as you can see how I highlighted here, and potentially either see EURUSD continue back down again, or look to have a longer push to the upside. Again, from a daily perspective, we're probably expecting price to continue to the downside. Again, we do have some targets where price could potentially head to. As you can see, previous resistance there will be acting as support there again. So you could potentially see a move to go and test this area. Of course, you've got the 200-moving average again, just below it, not too far away, where price could come back and test. But again, we do need to see a break of this area again, similar to AUD/USD. We do need to see a break of this strong area of support here for us to get that move. Obviously, we can get a brief move to the upside before that happens. And again, that brief move could be looking to test this area of the market here, push the upside there, find some resistance, and then continues its bearish move to the downside from a daily perspective. But from a 4H, we'll have some strong area of support and could easily see a move to the upside to go and test that area. Again, if we break through that, we could go a lot further. But yeah, we could be seeing a move to the upside for USD to go and test that area. And then you can make a judgment whether price is going to continue on or look to reverse and go back to be bearish. USD CHF, this pair, again, we had a big move to the upside from this support in the market. We did break through our channel essentially in the market here. You can see if I connect the highs there, connect the lows here as well. You can see we had a bit of a channel going through the market. We found some support there, tested it twice, pushed the upside, again another push, and then we subsequently broke through that that trend line in this channel, and we had a nice move to the upside. I was in this trade, but I've exited it now. As you can see, we've broken through this resistance here. Could be seeing some retrace in the market, so I'm happy just to take the initial push to the upside from a 4-hour perspective, and the market could continue obviously, but we are finding some resistance coming back into the market. It's going to struggle to move further. We could be seeing some retrace happen and a move to the downside before that happens. But yeah, USD again, probably will want to be getting to any buys now for this pair. Obviously from a daily perspective, probably still expecting this to continue again, to potentially go and hit go and test the highs previously made by price. As you can see, we've got resistance up there, so that's what we're expecting price to at least get to for USD, or if we break through that level, we got previous support all along there. As you can see, support there again, we'll get to the resistance, and again got the 200 average not too far away, so similar to USD but flipped. So yeah, we're expecting price to continue. Obviously we do have some resistance on the 4H, so we could be seeing price having pullbacks before that happens, and again you can see a push to the downside before that continues. So if you're wanting to look for buys for this one, probably wait for the market to give us a deeper pullback first. We do have a lot of areas where potential price can come to, as you can see here. Support there again. That could be a nice place if the market was to get all the way down there. Or again, they've got areas like so previous resistance will be turn support as well. So yeah, only looking for buys for USD for me as well. But again, if you wanted to get in buys, we have to wait for the market to pull back a lot further. USD, this one again, another push to the upside similar to USD. USD was bullish towards the end of last week, and you can see on the daily chart a nice push to the upside from that support in the market. It looks like we have come up to some resistance as well. I was looking at this trend line in the market here. As you can see, initially test there, second there, and it's acting as resistance again for us there. So again, we need to see a break of that trend line for price to really get going to the upside, to go and test that 200 average just there. Again, if you do hold at that trend line, you could see another move to the downside for USD CAD, and potentially go and test some previous support, previous resistance in the market, turn support. Obviously you got this area in the market here, support there, resistance there. Could be a nice area that the market wants to get attracted to potentially have another move to the upside. Or again, we can go much lower and got support all along there. So that'll be a pretty big pullback if price was to do that. But again, it could provide us some nice buying opportunities on the lower time frames to get back in a move to the upside. Because for USD CAD, we're still expecting price to give us a longer push, probably at least to go and test the 200 average. Of course, price doesn't have to do that. We can see price reverse before we get there, but for now, that's where we're aiming for. But as of yet, we've definitely found some resistance on the 4H. Just remove this trend line. As you can see here, if I just highlight this area in the market here, as you can see here, resistance there, resistance again. Bit of a false breakout, low wicks above it again, but this area of the market is essentially acting as resistance for us, and we've definitely found some resistance again, so we wouldn't want to be buying into that. We could easily see a move to the downside for USD CAD. Again, I've highlighted some support and resistance in the market, support there, resistance there again, so a nice strong area on the 4H time frame where price could potentially come to find some support before continuing back to the upside. That could be a nice area where price could potentially head to and could see another push to the upside for USD CAD. Again, only looking for buys for this one, so probably going to wait for the price to become much lower, give us a nice pullback. They're going to wait for some bullish price action to get into this market. But for now, won't be looking for any trades as of yet for USD CAD. I'll be waiting for some buying opportunities in the near future. GBP USD for this one on the 4H. Again, we're starting to look bullish. We did have this channel going through the market here, which we did see a break of, but again, not a very strong break, so it wasn't really convincing how we're going to get moved to the downside either for GBP USD. As you can see, we're stuck in this channel and then get on move to the downside there, broke through the lower trend line there, but as you can see, it wasn't really a strong break. Our price looks like it's found some support in the market, and I think it was a support area that I highlighted earlier. Yep, you can see here, very strong area of support along here, support there again, and we'll be acting as support there with that wick into that same area. And again, we're starting to look bullish as well with that price action. So yeah, could be seeing GBP USD hold from this area. As you can see, we moved to the downside quite correctly. Could be seeing a push to the upside for this pair. Again, we sort of do have a trend line going through the market. Again, a little bit there. Not really the best of trend lines, but again, it's a little bit of a trend that we got going for GBPUSD. And again, if you see a break of that trend line, you can really see a price potentially go and test some previous highs. Again, up all the way up there, that could be a nice place for price to head to. Again, if price does reach there, I'll probably be looking for shorts again, depending on the price action, as long as we get some nice bearish price action coming back into the market. Of course, if we remain bullish, can expect price to go and break through that area and create some new highs, and then in that case I might change my bias for GBPUSD. But as of yet, on the 4H, definitely looks like we could be getting a move to the upside. As you can see, very strong support all along here. We've come back to test it quite correctively, so we're struggling to break through this area. You can easily see GBPUSD gaining some strength and having a push to the upside. And again, if it really does kick in and we break through that immediate trend line just bias there, again, you could probably be targeting the highs up there for GBPUSD and further if you remain bullish and we break through that area. But for now, we could be seeing a move to the upside for GBPUSD as long as we don't get some strong, impulsive, bearish candles closing against you there. But expecting a move to the upside for GBPUSD, but just watch out for the 200 moving average just floating above there. AUD/JPY, for this one, I'm expecting a move to the upside. I gave this one out on my Telegram channel. As you can see, we definitely found some support there in the market. You can see all those wicks to the downside there. Price is a little bit moving sideways, but we did have a close above our moving averages and still expecting a move to the upside for this pair. Again, you watch out for some resistance not too far away. As you can see, just above us here, resistance there, probably more of a lower time frame resistance, but still acting resistance for us. So if price was to remain bullish and go and break for the area, can probably see a much better trade, a kick in for AUD/JPY, potentially go and test some previous support in the market along here. As you can see, support there, could be testing that area, or again, you do have resistance just above it here in the market. As you can see, resistance, so could see potentially move to the area. So there's some upside potential for AUD/JPY. As you can see, over the past few days, we've been having moves to the downside, so you do expect some bigger retrace in the market like we had here to come in soon, and it could be coming in the next couple of days with the price action we're getting on the 4H. Obviously, if price goes to break this level, we could be seeing a longer move to the downside, but for now, the price action we're getting does look like we could be holding for AUD/JPY and seeing a push to the upside for that pair. AUD/CHF, again, this one we get on our Telegram for a move to the upside. Again, you can see we definitely found support there in the market with all those wicks to the downside there. We had a strong move into that area, but price held, pushed the upside again, came back to retest, and again we had some nice bullish price action from that same area. So again, for this one, still expecting a move to the upside. Similarly to AUD/JPY, watch out for some resistance not too far away. Again, the market got sent back down to that same area from that area. So again, you watch out for that resistance, and again, obviously, got the resistance up there, which could be a nice place to target, or maybe the 200 moving average on the 4H just above price there. But essentially looking bullish, and as long as price holds at this level, again, we could be seeing a move to the upside for this pair, and potentially give us a nice push to the upside. And as you can see on AUD/CHF as well, we do have the 200 moving average running through price there, and it looks like price is just sitting on the moving average there as well. So again, that'll be acting as support, giving a little bit better of a reason to get into a long position for AUD/CHF. You can see the 200 moving average on the daily there, just underneath price, and of course we've got the 200 moving average you could be targeting on the 4H up there. So again, expecting move to the upside for this pair as long as we hold at this support area in the market. Next we've got Euro/GBP. Now this one a bit all over the place. Again, no real clear trade for me for this one. Again, we do have a trend line in the market. You can see we didn't quite test it, but we do have a lower trend line connecting all these lows here, and we do have an upper trend line going for the market. We're going to connect the two highs. As you can see, a test there and a second test there. So again, we're moving a bit sideways for this one. No clear opportunity for me to get into a Euro/GBP. We do have a bit of a longer term trend line in the market. As you can see on the daily chart, I've connected the lows that I've been talking about on my weekly analysis video. As you can see, you got a test there, second test there. Price could just be slowly making its way to make a third test of that daily trend line here, and then you can see a nice push to the upside, similar to the one that we had over here, that impulsive move, breaking into some new highs. But of course, we're moving quite slowly to that trend line. You're going to have to stay patient for this one. And for me, there's no real opportunity to get into any longs or any shorts for UGP as of yet from a swing trading point of view. Maybe from lower time frame scalping or day trading, maybe there's some opportunities. Again, probably just buying at the trend line there and selling at the higher trend line. But from a swing trading point of view, there's nothing really for me to get into here. So I'm going to wait for a better opportunity to come around and could be looking at a nice move to the upside for this one. EUR/JPY for this one, probably expecting a move to the upside. Looks like with current price action found some support in the market over there. As you can see, a lot of weight to the downside there. Bullish candles coming into play. So again, looks like we found some support there. Could be seeing a nice move to the upside. We do have some targets there. As you can see, previous support all along here. Could be seeing a move to go and test that area. And if we break through that again, could see price go a lot further for EUR/JPY. But you can see on the daily, we had a nice move to the downside, push down, retrace, again, another push down. So again, probably due some retrace from this bearish move that we had to the upside. Again, we don't know how far the retrace is, but again, it could be looking to take advantage of that retrace on the lower time frames, like the 4H or the hourly. Again, I do have some strong resistance not too far away, so you need to be wary of that. Again, support there, return resistance, so it could potentially be a place to target, and then potentially see price reverse again from the area and continue to the downside, which again could provide some nice short opportunities. But as of yet, we definitely found some support unless you go and break that support for strong bearish candle and probably favouring some retrace and a move to the upside for EUR/JPY, unless we get some strong bearish candles coming back into the market, sending us back to the downside. But yeah, could be seeing a move to the upside for EUR/JPY for now. Next we've got NZD/JPY. Now for NZD/JPY, again, not the clearest chart. We do have a little bit of a trend line going through the market. As you can see there, initial test there, second, third, and a fourth test there of the trend line. Again, we do have a bit of an upper trend line as well, if I can have the two previous highs again. So we do have a little bit of a channel going through the market for this pair. We've got the lows down there, the highs up there. Again, we could be seeing another move to go and test the upper trend line again. As you can see, we're coming back from a lower test of the lower trend line. So naturally, you do expect another move to the upside to go and test the higher trend line. And again, we didn't quite test the support level going through the market here. As you can see, we've got support all along here. Support there, didn't quite test it. The wick almost tested it, I think. Tested the trend line just above it. But again, we've got some nice bullish price action in NZD/JPY. Again, we're coming to move from that same trend line. Naturally, do expect to move to the upside for this pair to go and test the trend line above us, or probably at least go and test the 200 moving average there, or the resistance just above us there. But we're coming from the lows of the trend line, so naturally do expect to move to go and test the highs of it. And if we do, again, that could be a selling opportunity, unless we go and break through that, and then we could be seeing probably a longer move for this pair. But like I've been saying for time, for NZD/JPY, we do have a bit of a ranging pattern going on for this one. Again, you've got the resistance up there, resistance there, resistance there, resistance there on the daily time frame. And again, you've got support all along here, support there, support there, support there, support there. So we need to see price eventually break through this area. But for now, probably can just be expecting price going from one side to the other. As long as we hold a support, could be seeing another push to the upside, and as long as we hold a resistance, could be seeing another push back to the downside. So for this one, you can see we're clearly at the support level there, and as long as we get the bullish price action, could easily see price give us another move to the upside, potentially go and test the highs previously made here, or go and test the resistance all right up there. And again, you expect another move to the downside, or price to eventually break through that resistance. So we'll wait to see what happened with that pair. But yeah, could be seeing another move to the upside with that price action we're getting for NZD/JPY. NZD/USD, I was currently in a short trade for this one, but I've recently just exited my trade. But I was looking for a move to go and test the lower trend line. You can see we almost had that move. If I connect the previous lows, you can see a test there, second there, almost got a third there with the wicks there. But I did exit my trade. That was my target. As you can see, we have this channel going for the market there. I originally entered this trade on that kind of the wick to the upside, testing the trend line for a third time there. As you can see, a first, second, third. So I entered there, but as you can see, but a push to the upside took me out of that trade, but I got back in and then took advantage of the short to the downside there. And we almost kind of tested the lower trend line there. And again, we've got the elections tomorrow, so I just thought about just exit my trade. It almost hit where I was targeting to go to, so I just exited the trade completely. for that trade. Again, we're starting to look a little bit bullish again, right at the lows of this trend line. So again, could be seeing another move to the upside. We haven't quite tested the low, so again, there is room for another push to the downside for NZD/USD. But again, with the current price action there, we are starting to look bullish. Clearly found some support there in the market. Got those wicks to the downside, and again, we had a move to the upside from this area. Big push to the upside with that bullish candle, as you can see there. Again, we'll come back to that same area for lower wicks. We could be seeing another push to the upside, even though we haven't quite tested the lows of the trend line yet. Again, if that happens, again, we'll probably see another push to the upside. We're going to test the upper trend line, and then again, we'll be back and forth until we see price break out of this channel, either to the upside, where we can get price come and test the highs up here, where we have the double top. See test there, second test there. Could be seeing a third. Again, that'll be a nice place to short the market. But if you do see price break to the downside, again, we could be seeing price coming to test the previous lows of the market here. As you can see, lows down there, lows down there. Could be seeing a break of the trend line and price coming to test the lows at that support. But for now, again, starting to look bullish, as you can see there. Just had a bit of a push to the upside. Of course, the candle hasn't closed yet. Still got about over 3 hours for that candle to close on the 4H time frame. But the candle before there was looking quite bullish and telling me that it could be holding and seeing another push to the upside for that pair. So yeah, could be seeing a push to the upside for NZD, but for now, no trade for me. And finally, NZD/CHF. Again, this one starting to look bullish. Looks like NZD is looking to be a little bit bullish. Again, for this pair, a little bit messy. Not much clarity here. Again, we do have a trend line going through the market there, so it could be price wanted to go and test that trend line up there. As you can see, we had a nice push to the upside from the lows down here. I think we broke through a trend line actually. Yeah, as you can see here, we had originally a test here of the trend line. We had a second there, third there. Price did a bit of a false breakout, broke through the trend line, we're back into it, and moved to the upside. So again, you can see we've got the highs up here, which could be where price is wanting to go to. As you can see, we had a push to the upside, but price found some resistance, failed to do that. Resistance there, resistance there, resistance there. So that resistance looks like it's quite strong and keeping price at bay for now. But again, price looks like it's wanted to push to the upside and really go and test the trend line up there. As you can see, currently we're looking very bullish as well. And looks like it could be breaking above the 200 average as well for now. As we pull back, of course. But for now, we are looking quite bullish. And again, probably expecting another test of that resistance. And if you finally break through that, seeing a test of that trend line up there, again, that could be a nice place to short the market as well, anticipating another swing to the downside. So that could be a nice setup for NZD/CHF. But for this one, looking bullish and a bit in no man's land for me. No real opportunity from a swing trading point of view. So yeah, I'm going to wait for price to get to a better opportunity. Maybe give us a false breakout of this resistance, or again, go and test that resistance trend line up there, which could be a nice opportunity for me to get into some short trades. But as of yet, looking bullish and no trade for me just yet. So yeah, so that's it. The quick rundown of the markets. If anyone wants me to look at any different pairs or any different charts, just put it down in the live chat, and I'll make sure I'll go check it out and help with some analysis. But for now, I'm currently only in one trade, my USD/JPY long trade, which again I entered last week on Wednesday, I believe. I got into a long trade in this one on this candle over here, and again this candle here on Wednesday. And then I was looking at that support there, which I've highlighted in the market there. And as long as price didn't break through that level, I'll be holding my trade, expecting a move to the upside. As you can see, a lot of wicks of false breakouts, but then price essentially gave us a nice move to the upside. It looks like price did come to go test some previous resistance in the market. As you can see, resistance there, resistance there, resistance there again with that wick. So again, looks like we've tested resistance. Could be seeing a brief move to the downside for USD/JPY. But from a daily point of view, you can see we have some very strong area of support. If I drag this across, support there, support there, support there again. So again, very strong area of support. So expecting another push to the upside. We do have this trend line going through the market here. As you can see, initial test there, second there, and a third there. So again, expecting a fourth test of that trend line from this area of support. So that's what I'm anticipating for USD/JPY. And of course, if we break through that trend line, could go a lot further. But for now, my targets are just at the trend line for USD/JPY. But I'll probably be exiting this trade anyway, nonetheless, because we've got the elections tomorrow. So I want to be exiting all my positions for USD/JPY before that happens. And again, the markets could move to the upside and go smash through that trend line anyway. And of course, I won't be a part of the move because I would have exited my trade. Of course, the market could do the opposite and just push the downside and break through the support and continue further. Again, we don't know, so I'm not going to take chances and just, since we're already in profit, just going to take that profit and then sit and wait for the elections to pass, and then wait for clear opportunities when the market's settled down after that. So yeah, we'll be looking at my trade through the live stream. We'll exit this trade later today just to see how it goes. But yeah, if anyone wants me to look at any different positions, any different charts, just put in the live chat and I'll make sure I get back to you. But yeah, just be watching this trade and through other charts as well for the rest of this live stream. Okay, so going to take a quick look at Euro NZD, see what's happening with that pair. Okay, so for Euro NZD, you can see that on the day chart we're just moving a bit sideways there to push the downside, but from then on price has just been moving sideways, as you can see. You can see I have a draw trend line here. You can see we had initially test there, second there, third there. We actually had a fourth test as well of that trend line. So looking like price could be seeing a push to the upside if, of course, price respects that trend line. Again, we do have a bit of a trend line up here again as price making those higher highs, and we are making those higher lows again. So again, it's not a clear direction for Euro NZD. Of course, if we come back to test the trend line again, naturally we do expect the bounce of that, another push to the upside. Again, the longer term move could be to the upside for Euro NZD. We do have some support not too far away down there. As you can see, you've got support there, so it could be a scenario where price wants to go and have another test like trend line, maybe false breakout, test the support, and then continue to the upside from a 4H perspective. Again, from a lower time frame, maybe hourly, again we're looking bearish again, so could see that happening as well. Could be seeing a move to the downside from an hourly perspective. You probably want to be looking at the support down there as well. Again, you do have the trend line there, so you could easily see a push to the upside after that. So again, you need to be watching out for that. But again, for hourly perspective, could be seeing price continuing to the downside. Maybe test the support again, the trend line, and see price resume off it and continue to the upside again for a longer trade. And if we see price clear through levels like so, as you can see, previous resistance that sent us to the downside. If you see price clear that, you can see price go a lot further, maybe even test the trend line again, or some previous resistance in the market again as well. So that could potentially be happening. So for Euro NZD, probably seeing a brief move to the downside. Could take advantage on the lower time frames to go and test the lows up there, but essentially could be seeing a longer move to the upside from a swing point of view, and potentially go and testing the highs up there if we do break through that resistance. So yeah, I hope that helped with the analysis on Euro NZD. Okay, so we're going to take a quick look at ADJPY. Okay, so for this one, we actually gave this one on the Telegram channel at 10 a.m. For a move to the upside on the 4H time frame. On this one, as you might look at the bigger picture, you can see that we do have sort of a downtrend here, where we do have a downtrend, but not the strongest of trends. As you can see, big push to the downside, again, big push to the upside. Price found some support there, move sideways for a bit, another push to the downside. So again, we did break through this area of the market here. As you can see, previous support all along there. So for AJPY, we're actually probably expecting a move to the upside to actually go and test this area as previous support, now time resistance for us. Of course, when support is broken, it will now act as resistance. So you can see support there as well. So I'm probably going to be expecting a move to the upside to go at least test the area before price continues back to the downside if it wishes to do so. Obviously, price can just remain bullish and just go and break through the area and continue to the upside. But for now, as you can see, we are moving a little bit sideways for this one, for ADJPY and the 4H and the hourly as well. You can see we're just moving sideways, but still expecting a move to the upside for this one from 4H and probably from hourly as well. Again, you do see on the hourly, do have a bit of resistance, just not too far away from us. So again, if we do break through that resistance, that will probably set us on the path to go and test this resistance up there on the 4H, previous support time resistance as well. So we're expecting a move to the upside. As you can see, we tried to break through this support area, which is keeping us moving sideways. We tried to break through it a number of times. You can see many wicks to the downside there as price was trying to break it, but ultimately got rejected and closed above that support. So unless prices give us a nice bearish candle breaking through this support, then I'll probably have my doubts about ADJPY moving to the upside, and probably maybe see it continue a little bit further first. But as of now, as you can see, we're moving sideways, a lot of wicks to the downside, and then at 10 a.m. we had a strong bullish candle breaking through some highs there on the 4H, and the hourly again, some nice candles to the upside as well. So yeah, still expecting a move to the upside for this one. Again, probably have your targets at this resistance up there. Of course, if you break through that one of that resistance, which is a little bit closer, but I do expect price to do that anyway and go and test this area up there. And again, you probably want to be judging price action around that area, whether you want to stay in the trade and anticipate a longer move to the upside, or maybe take some profit, or probably exit the trade completely if you see bearish price action coming in, and you could see a reverse back to the downside. Because for this one, for ADJPY, we're expecting a move to go and test the 200 average. As you can see, it is just below it, so I haven't quite test that 200 average as of yet. Of course, price doesn't have to test it to the pip. It can come near of it and just reverse from there. Of course, we've actually come to some support in the market as well. As you can see here, support there, push the upside. So this is the same support area that I've been talking for since the price was up there. I was saying that price could potentially come to test this area in the market, and as you can see, we've actually come to test that same area there. As you can see, that's exactly where price is at. So again, we did have a move to the upside to contest the highs all the way from this area. So again, we will probably have momentum to go and have another push to the upside from that same area. So yeah, again, for ADJPY, still expecting a move to the upside for this pair. And as long as we hold at that support area that we're currently at, that we're currently moving sideways on, which is this one here, as long as we hold at this area, which we're currently moving sideways on, still expecting a move to the upside for ADJPY. So yeah, I hope that helped. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick look at GBP USD. So I'm going to take a look on the daily, 4 hourly and hourly perspective, just to help you with your analysis. So for GBP USD, I'll start with the daily time frame. Okay, so for this chart, I'll just clear it up. Okay, so this chart, we do have an upwards trend line in the market here. As you can see, we had a test of this trend line there, second test, a third test, and it looks like currently having a fourth test of this trend line in the market. And as you can see, every time we had a test of the trend line, we had a nice push to the upside. However, as you can see with the previous test that we had of this trend line here, we had a push to the upside, but again, we failed to make a higher high in the market. As you can see from this test here, we made a high all the way up here, and we had a push back to the downside to go and test the trend line again. And as you can see, we failed to make a higher high. So that's a sign that the uptrend could be looking to end soon, and we could be seeing a break of this a daily trend line and a push to the downside from a daily perspective. And if that's the case, again, we've got support down there we could be looking for price to come to, and of course, if we break through that, we've got support there, and of course, we've got support lower. But for now, if we do break through this trend line here from a daily perspective, we're expecting price to push lower to come test this support through the market here. And of course, we've got the 200 moving average on the daily as well, running through that support as well. So if we do break through that trend line, that's what we're expecting price to go from a daily perspective. From a 4H, currently we're at some support in the market here. As you can see, the level I've just highlighted, previous support here, push the upside, again support there with the wick, push the upside, again support there, another push the upside. So again, it's acting as support, so a very strong area of support in the market. So you could be seeing a push to the upside for this pair. From a 4 hourly perspective, obviously daily, we could be seeing a break of the trend line, but again, we don't know when that could happen. The daily chart, it happens in a matter of days, so it could happen this week or next week. But as for a more immediate analysis of GBP/USD for 4H, you can see we're at some strong area support, so we could be seeing a push to the upside. We do have a little bit of a channel in the market here, looking at the lows of price there. As you can see, a bit of a channel in the market here. We've got the highs, got the lows, and we're currently at some strong area support and could be seeing a push to the upside for this one. So again, support there near the lower trend line. Again, do expect probably a push to the upside for GBP/USD to at least go and test this upper trend line here, or potentially go a lot further if we do break through this channel. If you break through this channel from a 4 hour perspective, again, probably expect price to potentially test previous highs up there. So you could be looking at a move to the upside for GBP/USD for now from a 4 hour perspective from this area of support. Potentially go and test that resistance up there, and then again, we could be looking for some shorts there. And another move to the downside if you do get some nice bearish price action up there for GBP/USD. But for now, from a 4H, could be seeing a move to the upside, and hourly as well, probably same thing as 4H as well. Again, that's that same support. You can see a bit messy though on the hourly chart, big bearish candle moving to the downside, and again you got that big bullish, probably just mirroring that bearish candle there. So again, not as clean, but probably the same outlook from the hourly time frame for another push to the upside for this one. As you can see, we do have that small downtrend going to the market, but I am expecting that downtrend to start running out of steam and seeing a push to the upside. So again, you could wait for either price maybe to come back into this zone here. If it does get there, then you could be looking for some bullish price action, look for some buys on the hourly and anticipate a move to the upside. And again, you probably want to have your initial target at this trend line in the market. So you can see numerous tests of this trend line, probably expecting price to make another test of that trend line again. And if you break through there, you can see price go a lot higher, probably to go and test their resistance all the way up there. But for now, again, had a big bullish candle, so you potentially could be looking for buys. Stop loss will be quite big though. Potentially maybe wait for price to make another move to the downside if we do get that, and you can look for entries to go long potentially. And again, maybe look and target the trend line there, and if we break through that, you could be seeing a longer move to the upside on the hourly time frame. So yeah, I hope that helped with GBP/USD there. Okay, so we're going to take a quick look at CHF JPY and GBP JPY. So first up, CHF JPY. Okay, this one's starting to look a little bit bearish again. CHF JPY, you can see on the daily chart we are looking quite bearish there. We're going to move to the downside. Could be seeing some retrace happen from that, and you can be looking to take advantage of the low time frames. However, the support that previously held at the market for CHF JPY, you can see we came to this area, had a push to the upside. So you could be seeing maybe CHF JPY move to the downside, maybe a little bit further, coming to test this area of the market here. Of course, got the 200 moving average on the daily, which sees price gets attracted to a lot, is running for the market just below it there in that support area. So potentially could be seeing price maybe moving a little bit further before we're seeing a bigger push to the upside from a daily perspective. 4H, you can see we did find some support in the market along here. You can see some engulfing candles coming to the market, a few wicks to the downside, moving a little bit sideways. We are starting to look bearish again with the current candle, as you can see there. We are looking bearish, but of course that's still got another 2 hours to go before that candle closes. We can see that candle pull back, but as of yet we're moving sideways, and if we do break through the support here, that's where we'll probably be expecting price to go, come and test this daily support here on the daily chart there. So yeah, for CHF on the 4H, probably expect that to move a little bit further to the downside, maybe to come and test this support area properly, then maybe give us a bigger move to the downside. On the hourly chart, again, moving sideways a little bit. We did have some resistance up here, which looks like price came and tested. As you can see, test there, again, test there. Looks like we had another test there on the hourly chart. So again, could be seeing price from that area in the hourly chart, that resistance, have that push to the downside to make that final push to go and test that daily support down here, which again could be a nice place to look for buys to take that market higher. As you can see on the daily chart, we had a big move to the downside. Do expect some retrace in the market, so you can look to take advantage of that on the low time frames like the 4H and the hourly. So I'll probably be looking for buys at CHF JPY soon. If we get a nice move into this area, I can look for some price action in the 4H, which is the time frame I trade. Again, if you trade in the low time frames like hourly, again you can look to get in a little bit early using that chart as well. But as of yet, still looking bearish for me. Not really any clear signs that we could be moving higher as of yet for CHF JPY in the hourly time frame, and even the 4H as well. Not really convinced we'll be moving higher. So probably going to be expect price to continue to the downside a little bit more, potentially go and test this area here nicely, and again you could be seeing a nice push to the upside on the 4H and the hourly as well, because we're coming up to some strong area of support. So yeah, that's what I'm expecting for CHF JPY. Maybe price will move a little bit lower first before we get that move to the upside, and also GBP JPY as well. So for this one, again, similarly, but we do have a trend line in the market though for this one. As you can see, the market there, looking at the lows, we haven't quite had a third test of this trend line. You can see initial test there, a second there. So you can see we quite haven't had a test of that trend line, but yeah, again, we can still see another push to the upside for this pair. Again, it's not the clearest chart for this one. You can see we do have a bit of a trend line going through the market here. As you can see, initial test there, push to the upside, again a second there, push to the upside, and again you can see with multiple tests here of price holding at that same trend line. And again, we do have this trend line up here, as you can see, test there, second there, third there. So if price does hold at this trend line in the 4H, or maybe make another move lower to go and test the daily trend line, again we could be seeing a longer move to the upside, a nice swing to go and test the highs up here for GBPJPY. I can see it initially test there, second there, third, fourth, many there. So we could be seeing a fifth test of that same trend up there if we do get a nice move to the upside. Hourly, again, just moving a little bit sideways. So again, no real clear setups from this chart. Again, we do have a support running through the market here. As you can see, support there, support there, support there again. So potentially if we come back, test that area again, you can look for longs. And then if you're lucky, you can get a really nice trade if price does make its move to go and test that trend line up here on the 4H, as you can see, all the way up there. But you want to be looking out for the resistance that we have just above us over here. As you can see, support there, could be seeing another move to resistance, then price reverse back down again. That's where you want to have your initial targets if you're trading the hourly chart. And again, if you break through that, got some resistance up here, and the 200 average not too far away. But if you do catch another really nice trade, you could be seeing price going to test the 4H all the way up there. So if you're more of a swing trader, that could be more up your alley. But again, for me, there's no real clear opportunity to buy or sell for GBPJPY as now. on the hourly or even the 4H as well. Going to wait for a clear opportunity, maybe a deeper test into that level, or maybe another test of the trend line again, buy from the trend line. But as of yet, no real clear trade for me for GBJPY on hourly or 4H. But again, we could see price move a little bit lower, give us a better opportunity, then could be seeing a move to go and test the trend lines up there. So yeah, I hope that helped for CHF and GBJPY. Okay, so going to look to end of the live stream now, but before we do that, I'm going to quickly do a quick rundown of the charts, see what's happening in the markets, and I'll be looking to end the live stream for today. So for AUD/USD and this one, again, we're starting to look bullish as well. Looks like AUD has found some strength this morning, and you see previous support there again in the markets. Like I said, on the daily time frame, very strong area of support that we're currently at on AUD/USD. As you can see, previous resistance there in the market pushed the downside, again resistance there, finally broke above, support. So very strong area in the market we are at, and could be seeing a move to the upside from that area. So again, looks like we're holding, and again could be seeing a move up to the upside. If we do clear through this resistance just above us, you could be seeing a move to test the trend line up there. As you can see, initially a test there, second there, third, could be seeing a fourth test, and then price either rejected for that trend line, coming back to test the support and maybe break that, or potentially see price go and break the trend line and see a longer move to the upside for this pair. Obviously we're not sure yet, but for now looking bullish, and probably could be expecting price to continue if the candle closes like that. EUR/USD again starting to look bullish as well. Similar to AUD/USD, we're at very strong area support. Again, could be seeing another push to the upside. I highlighted this area during the start of the live stream. As you can see, previous support all along there. Support there, support there, support there. Acting as resistance there with that big bearish candle. Could be seeing price gaining a little bit of bullish momentum, coming back to test that area of resistance, and seeing a move to the downside for this chart. So for EUR/USD, again, nice area support. Could be seeing a move to the upside when the 4H go and test the area of resistance, and maybe give us another move back down. Or if we see price go and clear that, we can see probably price move a lot higher. But for now, probably expecting a move to the upside for this one, and give us a bit bigger of a retrace of this bearish move we just had. USD/CHF still looking bullish. This trader exited from this one. We came up to my target area, which is this resistance. As you can see, we hit it. We're actually still bullish, and looks like price is breaking through that. Probably can be expecting price to continue, but again, it does show that we're running out of steam for USD/CHF, and probably due a little bit of a move to the downside before price continues. Again, you can see we did break out of this trend line here in the market. Initial test there, second there, broke out of it. So potentially could be seeing price have a nice pullback in the market, maybe two previous areas of support. As you can see here, support there, could be seeing price come back to test that area, which could be a nice place to look to enter for longs again. But as of yet, still looking bullish. I wouldn't want to be sticking on buys now when most of the move in the 4H has already been done. So wait for some retrace, and could be looking at some nice entries to go up. USD/JPY, I'm currently in a long trade for this one, which I entered last week, Wednesday, on this candle here. And you can see we're moving to the upside. Currently, we're starting to look bearish again. As you can see, we came up to nice resistance in the market. As you can see, resistance there, resistance there, resistance there again with that wick. So looks like the market is struggling to move higher. I'll be looking to exit this position anyway, with the elections coming on tomorrow. And yeah, so there's no point in me staying in the market, because we could see a big movement to the upside or to the downside, and I'm not going to chance that. So just going to take my profit and sit through the elections tomorrow, and then maybe wait for, if we get a clear opportunity, you can make decisions to get back in the market. But as of yet, we'll probably be exiting my trade later today and just taking the profit. I was looking for a longer move for this trade, potentially go and test the trend line again on the daily time frame. As you can see, if the daily chart, we have this trend line going through the market here. Initially test there, push down, second test, push back down, third test, push back down. So expecting price to find some support here. As you can see here on the daily time frame, nice area of support all through this area in the market here. So expecting price to find some support and give us another move to go and test this trend line up here for a fourth time, where we can either see price reverse back down again, or maybe break through it and go and test the 200-minute average just above price all the way up there. So that's what I was expecting for that trade for USD/JPY. You can see we're running out of steam, could be seeing a move to the downside, but I'll be exiting the position anyway because of the lectures tomorrow. GBP/USD, this one again, we're at some support in the market here on the 4H. As you can see, I was a highlighted support all along there. Could be seeing another move to the upside. As you can see on the daily time frame, again, we're also testing some daily trend line. As you can see, a test there, second there, third there. We're having a fourth test of this trend line as well. So price will find some support at that trend line. Again, could be seeing a brief push to the upside from that area. Potentially go and test the previous highs up here. and probably look for some shorts when we do get to this area if we get some nice bearish price action. Of course, if we remain bullish, could probably expect price to move further and probably go test the resistance up there. But for now, I'm probably still looking for sells if we do get to that area. However, right now we are at a very strong area in the market, support all along here, and of course we do have that daily trend line, so naturally do expect a move to the upside for GBPUSD, and potentially could be seeing a move to go and test the highs up there. ADJPY, this one we gave out on the Telegram channel this morning for move to the upside. As you can see, we found some support there in the market here, all those wicks, and price is definitely struggling to break through that support, so naturally we do expect a move to the upside for this pair. Again, you can see if I zoom out, we did break through a strong area of support in the market here. As you can see, support there, push the upside, again support there when we're moving sideways. So our first target for this one is probably to reach that area of resistance, and then potentially either see price move back to the downside again, or remain bullish and break through that level and continue a lot higher. But for now, that's where we're probably expecting ADJPY to head to. Of course, if you do break through the support area, probably change our bias maybe and probably see ADJPY maybe move lower. But for now, we are looking like we are holding this level, moving a little bit sideways though. But again, probably anticipating another move to go and test that previous support. Now turn resistance for us up there. Euro GBP, again, not really clear opportunity for us on this chart. Looks very messy. Again, we do have the highs up here which are connected and the lows. Again, a little bit in no man's land right now. If you get another move to the downside, maybe go and test this daily trend line going through the market here. As you see, initially test there, second there. It could be seeing a third test and maybe another push to the upside. So that could be an idea for more of a long-term trade. But as of now, 4H, we're looking bearish. And again, we're slowly trending to the downside. So for me, no clear opportunities from a swing trading point of view. Maybe from a lower time frame, you could be aiming for the lows here if you're scalping or day trading maybe. But for me, there's no real trade on the 4H time frame. And next we'll take a look at NZD CAD. NZD CAD, we were looking bearish. As you can see, we found some support at that 200 moving average on the 4H, and we're kind of just moving sideways now. NZD CAD, we did have this daily trend line connecting us here, which I've been talking about for some time. As you can see, initially a test there, second there, third test there, fourth with a false breakout. You can see we close right back above, so we're treating that as a false breakout, just coming to test the 200 moving average. And we do have this bearish trend line here as well in the market. As you see, a test there, second test there, and almost a third test there as well. So kind of getting trapped between these two trend lines. For NZD CAD, it would be interesting to see which way price wants to break out to the upside. Again, probably be seeing a move to go and test the highs here on the daily time frame. And if we break for the lows, again, probably see price come back, test the support again here. You can see support there. So it could be seeing a move to go and test the area. So from a daily time frame, it's not really clear as where we could be going. 4H, again, not really clear for me for this one. We did have price come up to test a very strong area of resistance. As you can see, resistance there again, resistance there again, which gave us the move to the downside. But whether this will keep going, we're not too sure. Of course, we do have support along here. As you can see, support there, so I can potentially see price maybe slowly continue to go and test this area again, and then we'll judge how price is or where we can potentially go next. But for me, not really clear what's happening for NZD CAD, so we'll be leaving that pair alone for now. NZD USD, I was in a short trade for this one from last week. I exited my position this morning. As you can see, we had this channel for NZD USD on the 4H. We've got the highs up there and the lows down there. I was in a trade from this candle here, this bearish candle there, closing back into the channel. We had a bit of a false breakout. As you can see, price goes back inside the channel there, and we had a nice move to the downside. I was looking at a test of the lows of the trend line. We didn't quite get there, but with the elections tomorrow and the fact that we almost reached that, I decided to close my position there and just take the profit in anticipation of the elections tomorrow. So I'll do the same for USDJPY as well. But again, we're starting to look bullish. Again, we have found some support in this market here. As you can see, initially test there, big push to the upside, test it again, a lot of wicks there as price started to break that area. It looks like it's failing to do so with the current bullish momentum we're seeing on the 4H there. Could potentially see a move higher, which again could be seeing price maybe coming back to go and test the upper trend line again, or maybe some previous highs. then we look to continue to the downside. But for this one, from a daily perspective, we're probably expecting a swing to the downside to come into the market. As you can see, we got a nice double top there in the market there. Price came back to test some previous resistance as I drove that level across. As you can see, resistance there gave us a move to the downside. We're testing it again there with that strong bullish candle. So again, as long as we hold below here, I'm still anticipating price eventually breaking out the channel to the downside and potentially see a nice swing to the downside. Maybe go and test the 200 average there, or maybe go test the lows all the way there for NZD/USD. But yeah, expecting a move to the downside for this pair from a daily point of view. However, from the 4H, we could be moving up first before that happens. And yeah, we'll take a look at Euro AUD right now. Okay, so for Euro AUD, again, I'll start on the daily time frame. Again, we were moving sideways for quite a while for this one. Again, we do have our resistance up here for the daily chart here. As you can see, resistance all along there, resistance again, acting as support there with that bullish candle coming into play. It's looking like we're coming right back into that same resistance now support for us, right back into the thick of that support. So it could potentially be seeing a move to the upside for this pair from a daily point of view. 4H, again, we're looking bearish with those candles there. I think we do have a trend line in the market. Yeah, we do. As you can see here, we have an initial test there, second there, third there. So potentially could be seeing maybe price having a bit of a false breakout again out of that resistance, out of that support, sorry, on the daily chart, coming to test this trend line again. Then maybe see price giving us another move to the upside. Again, we are looking bearish right now, so getting into any longs right now, even on the 1 hourly, probably, yeah, even on the 1 hourly time frame is probably not the best idea as of yet. Probably want to wait for price to go find some support first, give you some nice bullish price action, then potentially look for a long. But from an hourly point of view, again, looking bearish. Again, probably expecting it, if we break through this support here, probably expecting price to come and test the trend line just below us here. And again, from a 4H point of view, probably expecting price maybe to continue a little bit further, go and test the trend line, give us maybe another push to the upside, and then potentially give us a potential long trade where we can probably go and test the highs all the way up here for Euro AUD. Of course, that's if we hold at the trend line. If price remains bearish, we could easily just break through the trend line and see price continue a lot further. And again, we do have a lot of targets to the downside, support there, again, support all the way down here, and of course the lows all the way down there. So could be seeing a move to the upside for Euro AUD, but I'll probably wait for it to move a little bit lower first, find some support at this trend line, maybe even on the 1H, and then potentially look for longs. But as of yet, looking bearish, and yeah, won't be expecting to put any long positions on this one with that price action as of yet. But yeah, I hope that helped for Euro AUD. And finally, NZD JPY. Now NZD JPY again starts to look a little bit bullish. Now this trend line running through the market there. As you can see, support all along this trend line on the 4H. On the hourly, again, you can see we had a nice move from that same trend line. Again, we do have this upper trend line as well. Connect the highs there, initial test there, second, third there. So I could be seeing another move to the upside for NZD JPY from this lower trend line. Potentially go and test the upper trend line there of the market. And then again, we'll judge price when we do get there, whether we'll see another move back down or price go and break through that trend line and see another move back up. But from a daily point of view, again, for this one, like I've been saying for quite some time now, we're still in that ranging pattern. We've got the support there, and we do have our resistance up there. As you can see, we've got the highs of the price and lows of price, and just being up, down, up, down, up, down, ranging in this pattern. So again, we could be seeing a break to the upside or to the downside. Currently, we're coming to test this low here. So price turns bearish again, and you could potentially see a break of the low of this support and see price potentially go and test this area of the market down there. As you can see, resistance will be acting as support here. But for now, it looks like we could be holding at this area from the price action we're getting on the 4H. As you can see, we do have this trend in the market, which is preventing us from moving lower. As long as we stay above that trend line, probably still favouring a move to the upside for this pair, and potentially go and test the trend line all the way up there. So that's what we're favouring for NZD/JPY. A brief move to the upside probably, as long as we stay bullish and go and test the trend up there on the 4H. And again, you could look to take advantage of that on the lower time frames. But as of yet, currently just in USD Again, like I said, I'll probably be exiting this trade later on today. But yeah, that's it for the live stream. I hope you all enjoyed it and you found it helpful. If you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss another live stream, and also leave a like in the video to let me know that you enjoyed it. That's all appreciated. If you haven't already, make sure you join me on the Telegram channel. I'll leave a link to that in the live chat and in the description below. So we're posting a lot of different trading setups throughout the week, and you don't want to be missing out on that. So make sure you go check it out. But like I said, it's the end of the live stream. Thank you for joining us, and until the next one, I will see you later.